everyone, it's Jenny here from The Bear and the Fox. I'm back today with some more children's picture books to share with you. And today's theme is Gender-Stereotype-Busting Books for Boys. Now, before anyone cries out, why only boys? Yes, there are lots of great stereotype-busting books about girls too. But I am mum to two boys, they're 4 and 8. And one of my boys, he likes to wear his hair long, his favourite colour is pink. He likes a lot of things that are stereotypically associated with girls, so he has had quite a lot of teasing and all kinds of comments. So I started collecting books to show him that there are lots of different ways to be a boy. So those are the books that I want to share with you today. There are a couple of themes that start emerging when you look at the books more closely. And one big theme is the colour pink. So there is no better book to start with than Pink is for Boys. This is a really simple picture book with not much text, and it goes through all the different colours starting with pink. Pink is for boys and girls. Blue is for girls and boys. Yellow is for boys and girls, and so on. And then at the end of the book, best message of all the colours are for everyone, for girls and boys. So this is a really simple and effective and really lovely book for discussing colours with children and getting the message across that all colours are for everyone. Then we've got a really cute book called Pink. Patrick the penguin, he wakes up one day and he's pink. So his parents take him to the doctor and try and find out what's happened. And the doctor says, not really sure. And Patrick says, but I'm a boy. Boys can't be pink. And then his dad says, well, actually, look, flamingos, they're pink, and at least half of them are boys as well. So Patrick goes on a little bit of a journey and comes to the conclusion that it's fine to be pink and it's fine to be different and it's fine to be pink if you're a boy. Next we have The Boy with Pink Hair. This is about a boy who is born with pink hair and he gets teased a lot at school and given a hard time, but at the end of the book he saves the day. And then I also just wanted to highlight this little book, The Day the Crayons Quit. So this is about a boy who discovers that all his crayons have run away and they've all left him a little letter. And I just wanted to pick out the letter from the pink crayon. The pink crayon is quite upset that he has not once been used in the past year, and he asks, is it because you think I am a girl's colour? And he really wants to be used to draw a pink dinosaur or pink monster or a pink cowboy, and he says, goodness knows we could all use a splash of colour from your unused friend Pink Crayon. So this is another great book for discussing colours with children. And then lastly, on the topic of pink, I wanted to share this book. It's called Pinky and Rex and the Bully. It's not actually a picture book, it's an early reader book. It's about a boy whose favourite colour is pink, which is why his nickname is Pinky, and his best friend is a girl, and he gets a lot of grief from other kids, especially from this one bully, and he starts questioning himself and wondering whether he should be giving up all his favourite things and his best friend to fit in more with being like the other boys. But you'll be happy to know that he comes to the conclusion that it's just best to be whoever you want to be, and that it's okay to be a boy and to like pink. Moving on, another recurring theme is boys and dresses, starting with My Princess Boy. This is a story about a young boy who loves to dress up as a princess, and then at the end of the book it says, if you see a princess boy, will you laugh at him, or will you call him names, or will you play with him and like him for who he is? So that's My Princess Boy. And then we have a book with a fantastic title. It's called Morris Micklewhite and the Tangerine Dress, and it's about a wee boy called Morris who loves to dress up in this tangerine dress, but the other kids are really mean to him. They've built a rocket and they're playing at being astronauts, and they won't let Morris join in because astronauts definitely don't wear dresses. So Morris, with his own imagination, creates this world where it's absolutely fine to go into space and wear a dress and be whoever you want to be, and all the kids join in with his make-believe play at the end, and there's still one girl who demands that he take off the dress and says boys don't wear dresses, and Morris says this boy does. Next we have Sparkle Boy, the story of a wee boy who loves everything that sparkles. He wants to wear a sparkly skirt and sparkly nail polish just like his big sister, and his parents are really supportive, but it's his sister who's the judgmental one, until one day they're out together at the library and some other kids start making fun of him, and it's at this point that his big sister steps in and stands up for her little brother and says of course it's perfectly fine for him to be a boy in whatever way he wants to. And then the last book about dresses, or frocks in this case, is Frocodile, and it's about a crocodile who finds a sparkly dress and some pearls and a pair of heels out in the wilderness, and he puts them on and some mean hyenas catch him and start making fun of him and threaten to rat him out to his very fierce looking daddy. So he pretends that he's in a play, but his friends all rally round and they actually manage to put on a play in the end, and his dad is super proud of him. And then there's a little twist at the end which I'm not going to give away because it's absolutely brilliant when you read this for the first time, but I promise you, you will not be disappointed in Frocodile. And then we have dolls, another recurring theme. So I've got two great books about boys and dolls with you. The first is called William's Doll. It's about a boy who really wants a doll to play with and hug and look after, and everyone's making fun of him. And it's his grandmother who eventually steps in and gets William the doll that he's always wanted. And his dad's really upset and he says, he's a boy, what does he need a doll for? And the very wise grandmother says he needs it to hug and to cradle and to take care of, so that when he is a father like you, he'll know how to take care of his baby. It's so that he can practice being a father. And in a similar story we have The Big Brother. Again, this is an early reader book and not a picture book. It's about Dara, who is about to become a big brother, and he really wants a baby doll so that he can practice being the best big brother there is. But what do his parents get him instead? A dinosaur doll and a spaceman doll. And Dara ends up swapping the spaceman doll for his cousin's baby doll and secretly plays with it. And in the end, his parents find out and they end up being really supportive. And when the baby sister is born, Dara is the best big brother that there is. The last recurring theme I have for you is knitting. Now, this book is actually about a gorilla, the knitting gorilla. It's about Daddy Gorilla, who has had 6 beautiful daughters, and then finally his first son is born, and he is really looking forward to doing lots of big and fierce daddy and son things. But it turns out that his son is small and gentle, and he likes beautiful flowers and pretty things, but most of all, he likes knitting. He loves knitting. So Daddy Gorilla is a bit disappointed until the day that his son knits him a sweater, and he realizes that he loves his son no matter what. And I've got another great story about knitting. It's called Made by Raffi. He wonders why he's so different from the other children, why he likes doing quiet things, and one day he learns how to knit and discovers that he really loves it, and the other kids make fun of him a little bit until it's time to put on a school play, and Raffi ends up knitting and sewing all the costumes for the play and saving the play. And suddenly the other kids think it's quite cool and they accept Raffi for who he is, and Raffi quite happily goes on knitting. I've got a couple of other books that don't fall into a particular theme. This one is called I Love My Purse. We'd probably call it a handbag, not a purse here in the UK. So it's about Charlie, who has this red purse that he loves, and he decides to take it to school, and everyone's like, why are you carrying a red purse? That's for girls, not for boys. But he doesn't care. He loves his purse and he wears it with confidence, and he actually, at the end of the book, he's given other people confidence to wear what they want. So his dad finds the confidence to wear Hawaiian shirts instead of his boring shirts. So it's a really great story about having confidence and being who you want to be and liking the things that you want to like. Then we have Dogs Don't Do Ballet, which is about a dog who is not like any of the other dogs. He dreams of being a ballerina, and everybody keeps telling him dogs don't do ballet, but he perseveres with his dream and ends up dancing on stage. So it's not specifically about boys, but it does address the issue of going against stereotypes and doing what you want to do and being who you want to be. And on the subject of dogs, we also have Gaston, which is a lovely, lovely book. It's about a wee bulldog who grows up in a family of poodles, and he is taught to walk with grace and look pretty and pink. Oh, there he is, along with his poodle sisters. And then they meet another family in the park, a family of bulldogs, and among the bulldogs is a poodle, and they realise that they were swapped at birth and they swap back, but it all goes horribly wrong. So in the end they go back to where they started, and even though the story is about bulldogs and poodles, it's essentially about how it's okay for Gaston, who's the boy, to be graceful and like pink, and Antoinette, who is the girl who grew up with the bulldogs, to be a bit rough and tumble. So in that way it shows how boys and girls don't have to live up to certain gender stereotypes. Then we've got Rooster Wore Skinny Jeans. This is a really funny book. Rooster orders a pair of skinny jeans and he thinks he looks absolutely fantastic, and all the other animals make fun of him, but in the end actually they end up admiring him for just being whoever he wants to be. He doesn't care about what anyone else is. And I like the little twist at the end, because he ends up ordering a gold sequined vest. So again, it's not specifically about boys and girls, but it is about wearing whatever you want to wear and just being yourself and not caring what others think. Next up we have The Knight Who Wouldn't Fight. So this is the story of a little knight who does not live up to the stereotype of what his parents think a knight should be and do, which is go out and fight dragons. He prefers reading, and when his parents send him out on a quest to be a proper knight, he takes all his books with him, and he ends up defeating all these scary creatures through the power of reading, and he doesn't have to fight at all. So it's a brilliant story about not living up to stereotypes, but just being your own self and doing things your way. And it's great at getting the message across that there's not one right way of being a knight, in the same way that there's not one right way of being a boy or a girl. And then we're getting close to the end. We've got Tough Guys Have Feelings Too. This book has really great bold illustrations, and it shows lots of tough guys like wrestlers and ninjas and cowboys and superheroes and pirates, and it shows them all showing their feelings. So this is a really good book to talk to boys about feelings, and that it's okay to cry and it's okay to let out your feelings. And last but not least, we have the perfection that is Julian as a mermaid. In this story, a wee boy meets a couple of ladies on a train dressed as mermaids, and he starts dreaming about being a mermaid himself, and he dresses up as a mermaid, and his grandma is totally supportive of this, and she takes Julian dressed as a mermaid to a parade where there's lots of other mermaids. And I just love this. It's just a little boy, he's just loving dressing up and being creative and using his imagination, and I love that his grandmother is so supportive of this. It's absolutely beautiful. The illustrations are stunning. It's one of my books of the year. Julian is a mermaid. And that's it. Those were all the gender stereotype busting books for boys that I wanted to share with you today. And of course, they're not just for boys, they're for anyone, to show them that there are lots of different ways of being a boy. I will see you next time. Happy reading. Bye.